Hey guys, TW Gamer Builder here. Today I have a deck tech. It is Selesnya Aggro, and this is a budget build, and I think it's good enough for FNM. I haven't really tried it out that much. I'm trying to play test with it, but I think it's pretty good. Tell me what you think in the comments below. And yeah, so let's get started. We have a playset of Sunblade Elf. Sunblade Elf is an amazing card in this deck because you'll almost always have a Plains in play. And since you have a Plains in play, it's basically a 1-drop, 1 green for a 2/2. And the ability with a white and 4 colorless isn't really useful, but I guess you could use it. It's not that useful though. And here we have, this is one of the more, sorry about that. This is one of the more expensive cards, Fleecemane Lion. It's not too, I think the price actually dropped on TCG Player, I'm pretty sure, down to like $3 or something now. I'm not 100% sure, but it's a great card. First of all, it's also great just because it's a green 2 mana for a 3/3. That's already good. And if you can monstrosity it late game, it has indestructible and hexproof, so it's basically invincible. The only thing to make that better is probably like trample. And here we have Midnight Guard. This card is great. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, untap Midnight Guard. It's a 2/3, and basically it's good for blocking on your opponent's turn, because say you play Midnight Guard and then he attacks, then on your end step you play Sunblade Elf. You just had him untapped and now you have him to block because he has 3 toughness, which is actually pretty useful. He's a great card for defense. Here we have a playset of Oresco's Swift Claw. This card is amazing. It's a 2-drop for a 3/1. That's all it is, but it's just good for aggro. It can deal a lot of damage quickly on turn 2. Here we have Selfless Cathar. This card is great. During your attack phase, you can sacrifice him to give your creatures +1/+1 until end of turn, which is great. And it's only a 1/1, but you usually want to sacrifice it to make your guys bigger during your attack phase. And here we have 2 Siegeworm. Siegeworm is good in this deck because you'll have a lot of creatures in play, so the Convoke ability, you could probably cast this for like only 4 or 3 mana if you tap out all your creatures on the battlefield. Really depends. I've gotten him out before, and he costed no mana, but that's like late game if you draw into him. Here we have Living Totem, 2 of these. It has Convoke too, which is really useful. Convoke in this deck is great because you're always going to have a lot of creatures in play. It's a 2/3, but when it enters the battlefield, you get to put a 1/1 counter on a creature, so you can make another creature a little bigger. And here we have Satire Grove Dancer. It's only a 1/1, but when it enters the battlefield, you can put a 1/1 counter on another creature, so you can make one of your guys really big, like a Sunblade Elf or your Fleecemane Lion, if you can monstrosity it. Here's Swordwise Centaur. It's 2 green for a 3/2. Nothing too special, but it's probably something you target with the 1/1 counters to make bigger. Now we're going into instants and sorceries. So here we have Raise the Alarm. We have 4 of these. Raise the Alarm is great at instant speed. You can put 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens onto the battlefield. It's a great overall card. Here we have Devouring Light. Devouring Light is amazing because first of all, it has Convoke and it exiles an attacking or blocking creature. So that's really useful against your opponent's creatures. If they're blocking your guys, you can just exile them. I like how it's exile instead of destroy. I don't know why, I just like exile better. It's just good. Here we have Titanic Growth. Target creature you control gains +4/+4 until end of turn. Titanic Growth is just a great overall card for when you're attacking because you can deal way more damage, and it's a good combat trick too. In case your opponent, say they blocked your Sunblade Elf with like a 3/3, but you can Titanic Growth your Sunblade Elf and kill it off. They're 3/3, which is pretty useful. And here we have Triplicate Spirits. It has Convoke. This is actually a really useful card in Standard right now. It's actually being played a lot in Standard. It's a high mana cost, but it has Convoke, and it's put 3 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying onto the battlefield, which is really useful. You can start dealing damage in the air, and like I said, with those other cards, you can put 1/1 counters on them and make them bigger. Here we have, I only have one Oppressive Raise, but you probably want to run about 2. And I know this is an aggro deck, and you're like, why should you run Oppressive Raise? But it's a good card just in case like they have a Scourge of Valkis at like a 20/20. It's just a good card to have, so you can get past big Hydras and stuff. I don't know why, but I always seem to die because of Hydras. And every single one of my deck techs, I have something to deal with a Hydra, because I just hate Hydras. And we have 25 lands. And I'm running 2 Selesnya Guildgates. You can run more of these too, but I only have 2. And once they rotate out, you're gonna have to take them out of the deck because I don't know how Standard's working right now. It's weird. I think it's at like the end of November Ravnica rolls out. It's weird, but these are only gonna be in the deck temporarily. Once they're roll out, you could probably replace them with the temples from the Theros block. I think there's a Selesnya one in there. So, yeah, that's my Selesnya Aggro Standard deck tech. Hope you enjoyed. Remember to like and subscribe for more videos, and see you in the next one.